Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are finally, hopefully this time, finishing the RB25 NEO that is going in the 33.4 Skyline.
Wait. You're gonna still put that engine in? Mm-hmm. Let me show you. You need to put this in. Hold the camera.
What?
Hold the camera.
This is what happens when it's bring your wife to work day. No, we're not putting the 1J in. No.
Perfect.
No.
Inside.
No.
We have too many RVs now.
No, we don't.
We only have one here, the 20.
Point out how many RVs we have.
1, 2, and 3.
What?
You're RB2.
Oh, shut up. I love it when May tries to be sarcastic. But that aside, we're hoping to get this all finished and assembled today. I finally got all of the parts that I needed to finish this thing. Everything's laid out on the two tables here. Actually, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to finish it because there was a little bit of an incident. Someone ran over my turbo for this, the reverse rotation one, like actually ran over it with the yellow Swift.
I'm ready to rally, guys. I'm ready.
The box seems to be a little crushed and damaged, but hopefully the goods inside are fine. I haven't pulled it out yet, so we'll find out about that soon. The first thing I want to work on is the trigger kit. We're going to be actually changing to a full PRP trigger kit. We're going to be having a trigger on the crank and the cam as more of like a reference. And I'm actually about to grind this beautiful, what looks like a nice like chromoly billet trigger wheel slash timing bottom collar wheel, whatever you want to call it.
Remind you of that thing in Interstellar?
Oh my gosh, May, stop it. Stop it.
Insert the music.
So you can just put this on as is and that'll work fine, but we're running a link and I want to take advantage of 12 minus 1 for the crank. So we're going to grind off this tooth directly opposite the keyway here, and that's just going to make things really, really accurate and faster crank times, and we also get a bit more benefit. Oh, we nearly went over. We also get a nice benefit where you can set up a fail-safe where even if the cam reference disappears, it will actually still know where the timing and everything is based off the crank, which is awesome. Little random, but I decided to change the water pump since I'm here. This doesn't look bad, but I got one from the PRP guys just in case, and I figured we might as well change it just to be on the safe side. I don't want this to be corroded inside or anything like that, so might as well quickly flip this off and change it.
Oh,
no, not too bad.
Not too bad.
What's that? Oh, this looks great. I don't even know why I changed this. Look at that. Looks brand new.
Oh.
Yeah. That sucks.
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well. Better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah.
The thermostat looks great too in there. You know why I like RVs so much, right?
What?
I think it spins all right. Seems like it's okay. Yeah, feels good. The bearings feel great.
Do you want a double sword? Here, there's another one here.
Finished the whole front of the engine. We've got the harmonic balancer on there. The trigger kit looks amazing. PRP really makes a nice kit. Super happy with it. Also, I got 2 sets of the PRP dress-up bolts that are normally just for the valve cover, because you can use them on things like this, on your timing cover, and it just looks so much nicer, and it's gonna match the whole setup here for the valve covers. Now, obviously, we went with pink. There's no other color that we could have gone, to be honest, but this is a very different pink. The Yashio pink. This is kind of like, it's got a really nice pearl to it and it just kind of stands out. I would say this is a little bit more similar to like the color that my BMX is, but yeah, I really like it. It turned out great. and it's a little bit nicer, I feel, than like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but anyways, I like it. I like it a lot. It's kind of like a little bit more posher, I feel, if that even makes sense.
Posh. You gotta say it posh.
Posh pink. Little posh pink, yeah. Although I'm sure you guys already knew I went pink because we showed you the front covers before we even got to these. But yeah, once again, PRP dress-up bolts are all going in. I've put RTV around the half moons on all the corners out the back and in the corners up the front. I obviously already did my front main, cam seals. Rear main we'll do later once this thing's sitting on the crane, engine crane, so that I can actually get there, because when it's on this you can't. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. And we've got to do exhaust manifold and turbo next. I know we tried doing this in the previous video on this engine in this car, but none of the parts I had were correct, so kind of had to start again. But at least now this thing should be ready to drop into the car tonight or tomorrow, depending. All right, final touch going on. We'll put our coil packs on at a later date when we are in the process of finishing the wiring. But look at this thing. It's coming a long way right now. That is looking amazing. I cannot wait to do the wiring for all this too. Make it nice and neat. We'll make it follow like the OEM trail too, and have the plug probably hiding somewhere under the intake manifold or something. We'll figure it out later, but this is gonna look amazing. I love the pink and black. Oh, I think I have enough of the dress-up bolts for the top here too. I wonder if they're the same thread pitch. Oh no, they're not. They're M5s, I think. Dang. Now what I've got to do is remove all of these exhaust studs, because we're upgrading to the PRP titanium exhaust stud kit. Look how beautiful these look. Super hyped. So we're going to be putting those on, then we can put the Artec manifold on and the new Garrett turbo as well. I obviously have a bunch of other PRP goodies that we'll be putting on, specifically their coil kit and all the R35 GTR coil packs. And this is very important that we'll be putting on soon too, which is going to be a head drain for both water and oil on the back of the head. I'll show you guys about that. We also need to get our fuel rail on from Radium, because the correct injectors came in. It's like, how many did I go through before I got the right ones? I tried Frankensteining the other ones too. It just wasn't going to happen. So for those of you that have a Neo, don't accidentally try and order Series 2 things and think it'll work, because it won't. So we've got the right injectors now. We're going with 1000cc Dishworks. It should be perfect and exactly what we need. Usually the typical way is to remove studs with the whole double nutting method, right? And it's so time consuming, and you could get a stud remover, but I also find that stud removers sometimes strip the stud and then you can't get them out. You got to weld the nut on. These are amazing. They have a little, like I think it's a 6 Allen key in the tip here, and they just go in like butter. Something that I like to do is just put a tiny bit of anti-seize on the threads. The only reason why I like to do that is just to try and prevent them from ever getting seized in there, because that is a common thing. It just makes your life so much easier. But I grab my little Allen key wrench here, and look at that, beautiful, like butter. Man, I wish they all were like this from the factory. So good. Just makes your life so much easier. And then look at this hardware, guys. So beautiful. 12-point titanium nuts. Beautiful. I gotta pull this turbo out, and we gotta make sure it's all good. I think it's gonna be all right. All the box damage and stuff is from May's car. She apparently couldn't see the palette of Garrett turbos and just...
I didn't.
Popped their bumper off. Luckily, it didn't really damage it too bad and just popped back on. And also because Customs opened up every single box on the pallet, it wasn't strapped down anymore to it. So it just like kind of pushed everything off the pallet, and the car like went on top of it, if that makes any sense. But it should be all right. As long as none of the fins are damaged, we'll be all right. Let's have a look here. Oh, we're good. No damage to this. Nice, because this is my reverse rotation turbo that we specifically got for this bad boy. Oh, I'm excited. Now, for the rear housing, I'm actually waiting for a very special one. For now, I'm gonna just use a random Garrett one. And this is just so we can mount it all up, kind of get an idea of how everything's gonna look. But we have a very special one-off rear housing coming for this thing that no one has ever used on a car before, so that's also super exciting. Oof. Damn, these always look so good. The Garrett stainless one's amazing. All right.
You have a turbo on top of your...
Let's put this on. Oh, that fits nice. Let me get this V-band lined up first. Look at that. Now, the turbo is actually in here, not hanging out here because it's a reverse rotation. So we'll actually be good now. Oh, this looks so good. It's now injector time. I really hope I got the right ones this time. You guys know the sitch, injectors, straightforward, always lube. Always, always, always lube. And I cut into the lube when I cut open the bag. At least it wasn't an injector. Let's cut these bad boys out and get them into my fresh, brand new radium fuel rail, which also I ordered the wrong one of initially. And this is the new NEO one. Yeah. Great. There's a lot of differences between the NEO and the Series 2, Series 1 25s, just FYI. A lot of stuff is not compatible. Learned that more than once recently. Injectors too, I'll show you guys the difference. Mainly because you're going to, on the Series 1 and Series 2, you're doing more of like a side feed conversion. So the injector profile is very different. And even if you added the adapters to make the injectors longer, they still foul on the stock manifold because the bottom section needs to be longer, not the top. So, see this length here? From the coupler down, there needs to be a decent amount of space because this has to sit in the manifold. The smaller injectors that are generally used with the adapters and everything to replace side feed ones, the plug is further down. So when you try to like extend the injector so that it'll work with the same length, the plug fouls on the manifold and doesn't even work. But anyways, let's get all these lubed up. Just gonna put them in the fuel rail all one by one. Hugo's scoffing in the background. He got his first cold lit this week. Last week. Good time, good time. And we're gonna pop that bad boy in. Nice, like butter. Got all the injectors in this, ready to roll? Let's go put it in. Look how good this looks. Turbo, trigger kit, the radium fuel rail, the black and pink just looks absolutely fire. I love it. Yeah, I'm really happy how this all turned out. It is now the next day and the rear housing we were waiting on just arrived and this thing is beautiful. Artec makes some amazing looking manifolds, but this rear housing that they've just done is absolutely amazing. This isn't on the market yet, but I'm very excited about it. The main reason why they went and developed this is because they realized that the housings that you could get through Garrett and stuff, while they work great, the best size that they've figured out that works really, really good with the turbo is the 0.75. So this should really just give us that little bit more response out of the G3660 and make it that 1,000 times better. So I'm really excited. As you guys know, I love responsive cars. I love the G25 on my SR 2.1 liter. And I'm even thinking of just putting a G25 on the Bogan 32 for that nice response. But I'd also like to just kind of keep the HKS old turbo theme. So we might try and get like an old 2835 or something like that, like the old HKS GT turbo that I used to have on that car before we changed it. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, this is what it looks like. I'm super excited about it. We're gonna be doing like a 4-inch dump pipe down to a 3.5-inch full exhaust. It's gonna look amazing. It's gonna cost a lot in stainless, but I'm super excited and I cannot wait to get this in the bay. From here, pretty much all we have to do is I realized I don't have any of the engine hook things. So I've ordered a bunch of those from Nissan. Those should arrive in the next few days. But for the rest of this week, it's kind of just like all crazy prep for FD. So things are going to be a little hectic there. But the engine, for the most part, it's pretty much ready to be dropped in. The next part that we'll be working on this car is going to be all of the fuel lines and tidying up the wiring harness and all that kind of mundane stuff, but that will make it in the vlog as well. It'll just kind of be more of like a side thing that we'll add in amongst other content. I can't remember if I showed you guys these, but I got these shipped out from the USA, and these are billet replacements for the heater core plastic ones that always break. So these look amazing. Super hyped we managed to get those. Drift HQ helped me get them. But yeah, that's that. I'm super excited. 33.4 is coming back, and it's coming back with possibly the most responsive RB25 NEO in existence, and it's a stock block. So I'm super excited to see what this thing's gonna do, and I cannot wait to just make this thing look good. Now bear in mind, this is stage 1. And this engine will most likely end up living in the abandoned 32 out the front of the shop. This engine will probably only live in here for 3 months, but I am dying to drive this car, and I will be damned if I do not drive it for the time being and enjoy it on the street and get a shuck end and all that kind of stuff and start shredding it, because there's an RB only event coming up, and I'd like to bring the Bogan 32 in this, and I think it'd be sick. And I did just get confirmation about the engine going ahead for this, the bigger one that we're planning to build, which I'll just call stage 2, whatever. But that's kind of why I'm matching up and getting all the exhaust done and the wiring all sorted out, so that when that big engine is done, we can kind of just like put it in. But before we put it in, we will be getting a bunch of bodywork done on the car. I've pointed this out before, but this part started to rust here. I do have the pieces to replace it, but I'm not gonna do that for when we put the Neo in. We're just gonna kind of enjoy the car and get myself hyped up, motivation. Those of you that have ADHD, any kind of accomplishment is a big deal to us. For me, if I can just get this in there and feel it moving under its own power, it will give me so much more motivation for the next big project of this thing, you know, getting the bodywork done and paint and everything fixed up. Whether or not we're changing the front end back to a 33 or keep going with the 34 front end still, I don't know, but I need that motivation, and that's why I try to like just take things little by little, chunk by chunk, so that I get that sense of accomplishment, that rush of dopamine that just makes me then kind of blast out to the next stage. But yeah, I don't know, that's just what I do. Even during the day when I feel like I'm not accomplishing anything, the best thing for me to do sometimes is just go reply to a bunch of emails. Sometimes I even reply to the emails that you guys send through the online store or help or anything like that, because if I send a couple emails, I get a sense of accomplishment and a rush of dopamine that really helps me focus for the rest of my day. It's something that I've learned to really work with my ADHD. I don't take any medication for it or anything like that, and I think there's different ways that you can manage it and all that type of stuff, and it works for me. Obviously it doesn't work for everyone, but that's how I find it works really well for me. So even if I just do this tiniest little thing like replying to an email and that's done and checked off, that's an accomplishment. It's a little bit of a rush, and I can now move on to bigger things in the shop and stuff like that. Because there's one thing, if you have ADHD, if it feels like you did nothing all day, it eats you alive on the inside, at least in my scenario. But anyways, enough talk about that. That got personal real quick. I hope you guys have been enjoying the RB porn. There's really no other word to describe it, and I cannot believe that this is the engine that's going in there for stage 1. I mean, hell, we might keep it in there a little bit longer depending on how long it takes to get the bigger motor built, but this is gonna be an amazing setup, and yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because now one of these is gonna be a spare engine. This one will probably go in the abandoned 32, and this engine here will get built and forged and probably put into the Bogan 32 if the 20E ever pops, but I kind of want to keep going with the single jingle. I have problems. Maybe we should go, I don't know what to do, but I might have a spare RV and I don't know what to do with it. So we're going to have to figure that out. That's an issue. That's an issue. Maybe I should just buy another S15 and do an RB swap. Do you guys want to see that? I don't know. My brain is going crazy. I'm definitely feeling a big rush right now because we got that all together finally. I'm really excited and I cannot wait. Probably the next time you guys see the engine, we'll be going into the bay and we'll get all that sorted out. But this week, it's gonna be hectic. FD, Sugo, hoping for good results. And I think we're gonna leave it there. Sorry if this video is a little short, but I'm sure you got to enjoy all the RB goodness. A lot of RB content coming on the channel at the moment and future. Oh boy, lots of RB stuff. We needed a break. We had too much SRJZ stuff for a while, especially that water pump. Yep. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Send that picture of me holding the RB water pump to your friends who like Jay-Z's and say, that's why you give RB guys crap. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace. Spins all right. Seems like it's okay. Yeah, feels good. The bearings feel great.